The topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
And welcome to Triversity Talk. I'm your host, Wendy Stewart, and it's Wednesday with Wendy. I am so happy to be with everybody today. You know, people call Wednesday hump day, but for me, it's almost like a day of rest. I know it sounds crazy, right? But I'm going to tell you why. I know I got through the early part of my week. I know I have like Thursday and Friday left, right? But you have like in the middle this wonderful Wednesday where you can like reflect what came 2 days before. Just stay with me on this one and look at what you want to do in the next 2 days before you get to the weekend. So I don't totally agree that it's a hump day. It's just kind of like very cool that it's there. You know, it just breaks up the week. Now, for those of you who follow Triversity Center, we are based out of course, Milford, Pennsylvania. Our newsletter went out today, and our upcoming event, which I've been telling everybody about, Paddle for Pride, is June 28th. So get your tickets. You know, we are located on the Delaware River, which is amazing. And you can get a raft or kayak and paddle with Triversity and see the beautiful scenery that's all along the Delaware there. I mean, didn't George Washington cross the Delaware? Well, if George Washington can cross the Delaware, you can certainly paddle the Delaware. We still have tickets available, and you can go to our website, Triversity, the Pride Center, and order tickets very easily that way. So please do it. It's summer. We're out there. We're trying to do all these things, right? Now, I am during the week based out of New York, and we're getting geared up for Pride here. And Pride has a lot of meaning. I was going to say more than ever, but let's just say it's a different meaning this year. You know, there's a lot at stake, and I will just leave it at that. So please mark your calendars. Sunday, the day after Saturday, the 28th, Sunday, the 29th, the New York City Pride March. Love to have you come to New York. And it's a really inspiring place to be during Pride. There's actually nothing like it. Okay, I'm done with my announcements. There you go. So one day I walked into a bar. I know you probably think I'm telling a joke with this one. No, I came into a bar in New York, a very well-known gay bar called Boxers. It's a sports bar, right? TVs all over, people hanging at the bar. And I was there because the Imperial Court of New York, we do a once a month show there, you know, just to like let people know that we're out there, who we are, and we all love entertaining. So I walk in and I'm, you know, thinking about what I'm going to do for the performance and everything. And I look to my left and I see this adorable guy with a great smile, and he's got a table. It's like arts and crafts table, okay? And there's candles on it. And I'm like, tell me what you're doing. He says, well, I'm doing a candle making workshop. And I thought to myself, how cool is that, right? You come into Boxers, you're not expecting this. And I said to him, why are you doing that here? And he said, people, you know, brings everybody together, right? It really is amazing how when you're doing something like that, it just puts everybody together in a great activity in a safe space with a lot of love. So I want you to meet the amazing person behind Kately's Candles. Please welcome Kevin Pierre-Louis. Sound. Uh-oh. Sound. Well, there he is. We got to get his sound on. Yeah, I think he realized. Okay. Yeah. We need your sound. Well, while he tries to find his sound on his computer, I will talk a little bit about what I know about the candles. They're made from soy or paraffin, and of course, there's scents for them. And people were all there creating their own candle. What's so special about a candle? It's a very personal thing, and it just lets people come up with an idea for a gift, or maybe it's just something you have a scent that you really like and you can put it in the candle. So that's what Kate Lee's Candles is all about. But I have to get some sound on Kevin, and I don't know if he can hear me. He's talking and there's no sound coming out, and so I'm telling him he probably should call me. Okay, he's going to call me. Don't you love technology, ladies and gentlemen? It's always like so amazing when this kind of thing happens. And it happens more than you think. People lose their sound. Here we go. I got him. Hi, Kevin. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
You don't have any sound.
I'm not sure why. What happened?
Because you were so good at the beginning.
Yes, I'm going to try to reset it, see if I can fix it or connect my headphones.
Okay, try connecting your headphones. Do you want to stay on the phone with me? Sure, why not? So while Kevin is staying on the phone with me, this is great, everybody. We've now invited you into our technical difficulty. And Kevin's going to try using headphones. And my producer, let me see, he will come on the chat here, and maybe he has some suggestions. He's amazing. His name is Juan. Kevin, refresh your page, and he wants me to hang up the call. Okay, I'm hanging up. Okay, good. All right, so now we're back on me, and Kevin has hung up. So I was telling you about candles, and again, our guest, Kevin Pierre-Louis, knows a lot more about candles than I do, but I don't know about you, but I've collected candles my whole life. This is absolutely true. Because, you travel to a place and you want to bring back a souvenir, and they're selling a million things, right? They sell T-shirts, they sell jewelry, costume jewelry, pot holders, dish towels. But there's something really special about a candle. And here's what I feel. And of course, our guest could tell you better. Every time you light a candle, there's such an incredible scent that comes from it. Much stronger than, say, doing incense or something like that. Lately, I have a lot of incense and I have a lot of candles. Okay, how did that all happen? Well, my daughter moved out, and well, that was 2 years ago, but she didn't clean her room out like most daughters. And I was left with a lot of candles. And I see Kevin's back on. Can we hear him?
Yes. Can you hear me better now?
Yes. And our poor audience had to listen to me ramble on about cleaning the candles out of my daughter's room. And I'll just finish up with that, ladies and gentlemen. No less than 50 candles came out of this room. And the really nice ones, I of course, kept to myself because I love candles. And then I gave a bunch away because who doesn't love candles? Kevin, who doesn't love candles?
Exactly. Candles are awesome.
I love hearing your voice. This makes me so happy. So people are here to hear you as opposed to me talking about my love of candles. So when did your love of candles start?
Mine started as a child. It was funny. I would bounce between my mom's home in Brooklyn and my father's home in Long Island. He hated candles. He hates anything with fire, matches, incense, everything. But my mom, she loved candles because she liked scents, but she would always go to like either a dollar store or a convenience store, get a regular candle, melt it down and add like her own perfumes and things and create other scents.
Okay, hold up, because I didn't even know you could do, there's a lot of people that I had no idea, right? Because most of us, we buy scented candles. So this is genius. Your mother would go, I love the dollar store, by the way. I heard dollar store. store, and you had me. So she would buy unscented candles at the dollar store, and then heat them up. What do you? I know this is going to sound like a dumb question. Do you put it in a bowl? How do you do it?
So she had two ways. The main way would be she would just put a pot of water boiling on the stove and then have the candle sit in there, and then it'll just start melting. And then as it's liquefied, she'll hold on to the wick and then add her own fragrance oils to it, or perfumes. I even saw her put Fabuloso in it at one point because she wanted to do like a clean, fresh scented candle.
Stop. You're throwing all this stuff at Okay, Fabuloso. I want everybody to hear that. I actually clean with that. I had somebody say to me, Wendy, that is so toxic. And I'm like, but it smells like bubble gum. I totally, doesn't it, right, Kevin?
Mm-hmm.
I love that she put Fabuloso in the candle. Okay, go on.
So she would experiment around. She would toy with different waxes. She really liked soy mostly because it's just so moldable and it could take to any scent, whether it be a perfume or a body oil or any type of cleaning agent that she wanted to put in there. And she would use those candles, and then when they would burn down to the end, depending on the jar, she'll put like a cup of water and then put it in the microwave. And you know when you get in the candle, you get like that bottom end of it, like just the residue wax. She would use those for wax melts. So she would put a cup of water and then put it in a microwave. And as you heat it up, the water heats up with the wax and it all gets liquefied. But then you stir it and you let it sit for about maybe 2-3 hours. And then the wax is going to rise to the top and then the water would just be in the bottom of it. So then she'll take that residue wax and then break it off and put it in melters. And just always seeing her with scents and everything. And she loves scents, jewelry, and money.
I love your mother, a woman after my own heart, but I have to go back to the scientific chemistry involved in this. First of all, I had no idea this whole thing where the wax rises up and, this is actually a somewhat scientific process. I mean, when you were doing science fair in school, you could have brought this in because
I did.
Yeah,
instead of making a volcano or a tornado with two water bottles.
I mean, but I'm thinking your mother could have made like a volcano, a wax volcano, that's a candle out of this. I love using a microwave in this way. So you, what a gifted childhood you had with a mom like that. And so did she give the candles out as gifts? Did she sell them? How did she use them?
No. She would keep them all for herself, but she would always either have card nights or just friends over. Her house was always just filled with life. It was either music playing, she's cooking, her friends are over, the hallways. She lived in Flatbush Gardens, Brooklyn. So it's just a real West Indian. I'm Haitian, so she had friends all over. It was always a bustling house. So I guess the scent just kind of kept everybody grounded. When you walk into a room, the first thing, you obviously see it, but you smell it and then you feel it. And just from the smells that she would have emanating from the room, people would just come in and feel comfortable. And it was always a nice time.
Well, that's a very important thing that you brought out. First of all, your Haitian background. And I think I shared with you, I've spent a lot of time in Africa, only a little bit of time in Haiti. But the significance, the cultural significance of candles in those cultures is really, really something. Religiously, they're used. Specific scents are used for specific things. So did your mom grow up in Haiti?
She did.
Yeah,
she came to America in her mid to late 20s and stayed here ever since, aside from when she went to Bahamas and met my dad, but then came back over to Brooklyn. And
Well, Brooklyn, we also know, is a Caribbean melting pot. I had help with my daughter when she was younger, and some of the incredible people that helped me turned me on to things that definitely came from the Caribbean culture. My daughter screamed day and night. And I remember I had somebody from Barbados, and she's like, you got to get the gripe water. I'm like, what is gripe water? So I go to a drugstore right in my neighborhood. And I know I'm getting off track here, but it's funny. You'll appreciate it. I go to a drugstore in my neighborhood, and they sell this stuff called gripe water that did absolutely nothing. And she was coming that night because I was working, so I needed help. And she looks at the bottle and she goes, this isn't the gripe water we have in the neighborhood. I'm like, well, what's about yours? Oh, ours has alcohol in it. I'm like, they don't sell that around here. So long story short, she got me the gripe water, and the crying stopped.
You put it on the gums? Your
Yeah,
daughter
yeah.
probably slept like a
That's it.
baby.
That baby is out like a light, you know. So, oh my God, the child abuse people are going to come after me. But anyway, yeah, there's so you come from such a rich culture, and I guess that's what I'm going back to. You come from this richness. You're describing your mother's house. It was filled with abundance and filled with love, and candles are really a big part of that.
They really are. They really are. They move a whole room. They move your mood. They kind of help you get through the day, I feel. As you watch the candles burn, you smell it, you feel the fire, it warms
Yeah.
you up inside and now it's really therapeutic. So that's why I started with the class, because essentially I really did want to build a website and sell pre-made candles. But
Ah,
I wanted to blame my mom for this because she had so many fragrance oils and there was just so many options. I couldn't narrow down to what would I put on the website, what would be my signature scent. And I used to party promote when I was in New York. So when I moved down to Atlanta and I was attending nursing school down there at Emory, I was having house parties, but I would push all my candle stuff to the back room. For whatever reason, it was like 40 people. We were having spades, drinks. It was a nice, good time. Someone went to the back room and they're like, oh, the smell's coming from what's happening back here. And I'm like, oh, I'm trying to get my candle business started, but it's just not together yet. So then everyone just kept asking more questions. So I just started rolling out the scents and fragrances in the middle of the house party. And then people were like, well, I would buy a candle from you. Like, how do you do it? And I'm thinking, well, you came here to play spades, have fun, like barbecue, not make a candle. And then it just kind of grew from there. So,
but your business actually grew extremely organically. That is, first of all, that's a great story. You were going to nursing school there, you said?
Yes.
So you're a caregiver, a trained person that can help other people. And it's no surprise that you create these amazing candles as well, because what do candles do? They create safe spaces, right?
Exactly.
They're warm, they're fuzzy. And I think what is so appealing to me, the different senses, right? It's a sense of smell. It's those perfumes and what they do to you. It's a visual sense. And then when you sit in front of a candle, it's the warmth that comes from it, right? It hits on all of our senses. And I'm sure you notice, don't you find that your breathing slows down when you're focused on a candle?
Yes. And you're really like, that's when taste kind of ties in, because as you're smelling it, you begin to get the taste of it a little bit. So
It
that's
is
a problem
exactly.
for me. So I kind of stay away from food smelling candles, because one day I could eat a whole tray of brownies by myself. So if I walk in and smell like a snickerdoodle candle, like my sister loves, oh, especially during the Christmas time, she
You know,
wants the
she likes
warm
those smells.
chestnut. Yeah, I can't do it because I just want to eat that. And then I'm like, I have the taste of a snickerdoodle or a pumpkin patch or something. So that's why I try to stay to next to the woodsy
Okay, that
smells.
is really funny to me because, like your sister, I burn the pumpkin ones. I love cinnamon and apple, right? Because those
Mm.
are like the Christmassy smells or the Thanksgiving-y smells. But that's interesting that in you, it sets off. I never heard anyone say this. It sets off something in their taste buds.
Where now I
Wow.
have the taste for that food. So I'm like, it's summertime coming and Pride's coming up. I want to be sexy. So I'm like, I can't
I
be.
don't want to be so. So, what's the sexy smell for Pride?
Ooh, I actually have a honeydew me
Ah,
and I mix honeydew with passion fruit and
sweet.
lilies. And
Ooh,
it has that sweet floral scent. So it smells like making love to a flower, if you would.
wow.
So title it honeydew me.
Wow. Do you believe that candles have a power, an aphrodisiac power to
Definitely.
them?
Definitely. So like with my sense, a lot of the names were inspired by either you smell it and you think of have a sex flashback or a food flashback or a moment in time flashback. So there's like touch your toes, feet sucking, golden showers, which was a
Okay,
big hit.
I love that you have feet sucking in there. I think that just I'm trying to what would a feet sucking candle smell like?
I could only show you better than I could tell you, but it has that like where this is gonna sound a little prerogative, but that musk scent of a foot, but it's
Oh
like a
yeah, right. It
sweet
would be
musk,
musky.
but it's
Wow.
like a sweet musk where almost is like, your partner comes home and they had a long day and you're like, all right, kick your shoes off. And then you just smell like, oh, my babe was at work all day or whatever. You just want to rub their feet and then things grow from there. But it's not a odor, it's more of like a musk, if you will, or just the person's scent, the
It's the
pheromones.
person's scent. It's a highly personal scent. Yeah. It's a human scent. So that
Right.
okay. You now you got my wheels turning. I've got one for you. You have a scent called locker room.
Oh, I don't, but I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on that because
I
I
think
actually like
okay, I
that
think
stuff.
we're on to something here. I think that would be really, really fun.
I do too. I
You
do
know,
too.
you certainly might if you go to a bar like the one we were at, I think you could actually sell that there. Never mind that I mean you'd have everybody doing their candle making and everything, but you'd also have scents that people could buy. We're onto a marketing thing here, Kevin. I got this. With the toe
I like
sucking
it.
one, the locker room one. You can have one for meeting someone at a bar. You come up with like a
Midnight stand.
midnight stand. Oh my God, I've got a great one. Grinder
Ooh.
2 feet away candle.
No face picture. No picture,
Right,
no
right,
chat.
right. Oh my God, right. No face picture. Grinder 10 feet away candle. Yeah, we're definitely on a roll
I'm writing
here.
that down.
No, you can write. You know what? You can write all of them down. Do you do this? I met you at Boxers. Do you do other places as well?
Currently, no, but I am on the market looking for venues. When I was in Georgia, I used to rent this art gallery from a lovely lady named Eva. Her and her husband owned a art gallery in Grant Park, and I liked it because it was aesthetically pleasing. So you would walk in, and there's art all over the wall. You're seeing all the different designs and the colors, and then I'll have the candles burning. So then there's the scents, and I would have food vendors come. Another person I met down in Georgia, she had a food truck. She would pull alongside of the art galleries, and then there's the food
Brilliant.
there. You get those
Yep.
senses. And then with the wax that I use, it's a vegan AccuPure 83, a coconut and apricot wax that doubles as a body oil. So as your candles burn down, you can rub them on your skin. So I have people doing that. So it's a whole sensorial experience where it's touch, smell,
I
taste,
I love it. I totally love that you're
music
offering this. And
playing.
yeah, I did read that one of your candles you can burn down, and then it's like a body butter. You can put it on your body. I never heard of anyone doing that before. I think that's genius.
Thank you. Thank you. I used to date a massage therapist, so I kind of got the idea
Ah,
from him because he would have my candles burning during his thing, and then he asked like, "Hey, is this safe on your skin?" I'm like, "It is, just don't eat it," because it's vegan wax. There's no preservatives, there's no
ah.
antioxidants, but it'll burn clean. It's just when you rub it on your skin, the scent then stays with you as well. But with my class, because it's a fully customizable experience, you're creating your own scent and you're dyeing your wax. I have fresh flower petals, lavender, rose petals, jasmine, lilies that you can add to it. So it doesn't have the same effect as just the natural candle with the fragrance oil, but you kind of get better because now you done made your own color. You've added herbs which burn and enhance the smell in ways because they sit in the wax and the fragrance oil. So now you smell like the lavender hints of it, the notes of rose petals or lilies. It's a real nice time. It's really great time. And
I think that this is a brilliant idea, and I'm going to tell you something. I'm all over. I haven't seen anyone doing this. I did have someone on my other show. She is a fragrance expert. She does this with perfume, and of course, she's created an amazing empire with what she's doing, and it's personalized scents. Right? You're doing this too. I love this, and my God, we have to find a way to get you in a lot of places because this is the perfect icing on the cake for an event, for a bar. And we'll get back to the bringing people together with what is happening now in our LGBTQ community in the last couple of months. Okay. We all know it's about coming together. We know that the power base is got to be all of those letters cannot be separated. Okay. They can't take the T away. It's all one and the same. And then, of course, whoever wants to jump on board and get behind, please do. Right. But you've created something that is so gentle It's completely benign, and it's really about putting everyone on an equal playing field. You're creating a candle, and you're creating something that's very beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm glad you mentioned it, because with this new administration, things are scary, and it's not, you know, I've
Right.
always said being gay and living in your true authentic self is the funnest thing and most fulfilling thing you could do. But unfortunately, with the way things are now, when you are, it's getting taken away from you. Now it's the pronouns that we fought so hard to get are being stripped away. Women's rights are being taken away. It just
Absolutely.
too much going on, and I feel like we're reverting back into time. So that's why I like to do the classes. Everyone comes, as you said, on a level playing field. If whether you're a beginner or not beginner, my whole process is fully new. So I'll teach you, we'll work hand in hand, but it also just promotes comfortability.
Right.
Sometimes people come and they don't know what they want, or they don't know what they like. And I'm like, I'm not here to tell you what you do not like or what you don't like. But I'm going to lay out all the options, and I want you to pick what stands out to you. There's
Yeah.
no right or wrong answer. You can't mess up a candle. And if you do mess it up, I'll just melt it and we can make it all over.
You learned that from your mother. Just slap another one in the microwave.
That's it. That's
Right.
it. And I wish that things in life was so easy that, okay, we had a crappy administration, we could melt it down and build a better one. But unfortunately,
You know what? There's probably like 100,000 people and more that completely agree with you. However, you're doing an incredible positive act. I know that there are churches that are very accepting, that this would be such a great thing to have on, one of their days when they have vendors to offer a workshop like this. I think it's really brilliant. Do you travel, Kevin? Will you travel for that?
I would.
Okay.
When I was living in Georgia, I used to travel everywhere, and because I started the business in 2020 when I was living down there. That's my biggest market. So I used to do T-Mobile's holiday party every December. I've had a 90 Day Fiance come to a class. And then when I traveled up to New York Times came to a class for the HBO release of Succession Season 5. So it was a nice time.
Yeah.
It's just getting back in the groove of things and still maintaining like a personal life. So I had to learn that when you're an entrepreneur, you're your own HR person, you're an accountant, you are the manager, you're the supervisor. And I didn't realize all that entailed because I came from a party promoting world. So now I'm starting this candle workshop and it taking off and people being interested. I had to really double down and get on it. So that's why I was happy to work out the deal with Boxers, where I explained the class to them, because I used to work on 23rd Street. So sometimes after happy hour, I'll go there. And there was just one time it was low. And I said, hey, who's the bar manager? So then I introduced myself and we talked. And he said, yeah, on the weekends, if you come around 1 or 2, it's not that busy. But at 7 o'clock, that's when the music comes up. We usually have special events and it gets louder. But if during the day you want to come book this section here, you can totally have it. So that's how that happened when you walked in with the Imperial Court. I didn't know that you guys were going to be there, but I was so happy you were, because even all the guests that were there enjoyed the show. We stayed and it was supportive and everyone was comfortable.
We were there for the same reason you were there, okay? We want to let people know about the Imperial Court of New York. Boxers wants to bring more people in, all right? And it's about building community. And we all know what's going on out there. But because of the kind of community I've built, I can move ahead in my world as an activist with lots of really great things around me, because that's what we all need to do right now. All right. I think bringing people together, making candles, what could be better? I hope, are you going to be back at Boxers, do you think?
This coming weekend, yes. I'm actually doing a Father's Day class on Saturday and Sunday.
Amazing.
So I'll be there Saturday, the 14th and the 15th from 2 p.m.
So
to 7
the Imperial Court's doing a show. I can't be there because I'm going to another friend's show that a friend coordinated who's coming up from Washington. But here's the but. What time are you going to be at Boxers on Saturday?
From 2 o'clock in the afternoon till 7.
Okay, so those hours work really well for me. I'm going to come by and say hi. And hey, right now, I was looking at your Facebook page. I didn't see an invite on there for Boxers. Did you send anything out yet?
I haven't. I actually need to get That's what
That's
being an
why.
entrepreneur. I know.
No, excuse me. I chomp at the bit, and you know what? Not everybody gets me. They're like, "Can you do this? Can you do that?" You know what I do? It's really obnoxious. I've started to take pictures of my calendar. I'm not kidding you, and I screen shoot my calendar and I send that to them, and they're like, "What's this?" I'm like, "This is my calendar." No, I have no time, because when you're an entrepreneur, you really, as you know, you have to have it together. You got to do the promotion. You're going to go do the workshop. You have to have all your materials with you, the people that you're signing up. And it's a lot. It's the same for me. I book these shows. I book myself as a performer. I take every job that comes my way. But Kevin, I'm not going to lie to you. It's really hard.
It is. It really is. Especially if you want to have like a personal life outside of it, or just even a moment to relax. Because what I hate is sometimes I sit down and relax and think, oh crap, I gotta do this. Oh man, I gotta order that. And then it's your back ripping and running. So it's like, unless you're sleeping, you're grinding and hustling.
Right. No, that's exactly right. And God bless you, you're sleeping. I don't sleep. I'm constantly looking. No, this is like really bad, because my body will take 5 hours sleep and no more for the most part. And I know that's not good, because
Yeah, you need at least 6. Thank God you're still beautiful.
well, thank you. You're so great. But for me, I've been trying different gummies and whatever I could get my hands on, and I'm not finding anything that works, because to your point, especially if you're an entrepreneur, right? You need 6 to 7 hours. And if I go to a club and come home at 2 a.m, then I don't go to bed till 3:30, and then I'm up at 9, because that's how my body clock is. Jesus, it's not a good thing, right?
Are you someone who, like, once the sun's up, unfortunately, you wake up and then it's just horror to try to go back to sleep?
It's
Like, I try to close the
it's
blinds,
terrible.
put a pillow
Because
behind
I'm
me.
a day person and a night person. They don't talk
Oh.
about those people. And then I have to power through my day on top of it. There ain't no nap time for Wendy during the day, so I have to.
Naps are necessary, Wendy. You gotta find time for them.
I know. You know what? I need to come make candles with you.
You'll be so relaxed. You'll be so surprised. You'll be relaxed and amazed, and you'll wow yourself. A lot of times, what I like to see is the people afterwards, they wow themselves, because then I have an engraver as well. So being that it's crystal glasses, folks can write their name on the jars, there's stickers that you can put on it. It's the whole, from boots to, what is the phrase? From boots to
Soup
knuckles.
to nuts. You're doing, it's a whole thing from soup to nuts,
Yep.
Well, you're all right. So now we have a date. I have to write it in the calendar. I don't have the calendar next to me. I'll show it to you. It's like I'm not exaggerating. But I have some time free on Saturday in the afternoon. So yeah, I would love to stop by Boxers. And for anybody that's listening here, please, you can come to Kevin's Kately's candle workshop. Yes.
Sip and smell experience. Yep.
Right. It is, right? Sip and smell.
Because with every candle, you get 2 drinks.
The fact that you said that, sip and smell, okay, you're at the very beginning of this thing exploding. I'm going to tell you why. Everybody does these paint and sip things all over. I don't quite get them, I'm not an artist per se, and they give you something that's kind of boring to do. And I'm more into like my second glass of wine and the buzz that I'm getting. But the candle thing is a new thing for many people. And there's these choices involved. What scent should I make it, And even connecting to the other people that are at the table, like you had them around the table talking to each other. I think we have a future. Listen to me, it's your thing. But I think that there is a future,
And that's what I love with the folks. I always say, hey, make nice with your neighbor, because they're all different scents. No one jar is the same. And then it's funny because being that we're there, other people will walk by, they're like, are you guys over here sniffing poppers? And I'm like, no, it's not. It looks like a popper jar, but it's not. I swear, it's a fragrance oil. But
that's
I always,
funny.
so everyone that comes either with the partner, their family members. That time you seen me was Mother's Day, so a lot of people brought their moms, but I said, hey, you're all here making candles, talk to the person. If you want advice, I never want for someone to feel like, oh, I just have to talk to Kevin. No, you can come and mix and mingle and talk with everybody. I try to use it as a networking event.
It
And
is.
then it
Yeah.
lights me up when I see like someone sitting there. One class he was a doctor from Jersey, but then his wife was a photographer. And as they were just sitting there talking, the wife got booked for like a wedding because there was someone else. Oh, my cousin's getting married. Do you travel here? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh yeah, I like that.
That's
People
exactly.
talking to people and just connecting on a human level and
And
just
people
seeing
aren't all on their phones. They're not sitting there on their phones, right?
no. So for 2 hours when you come with me, is put your phone down, open up your nose, have a drink, and talk and mix and mingle with people and just kind of let your creativity explode.
Yeah. Yeah. So in terms of the scents that you use essential oils.
No, I use fragrance oils because with essential oils they don't have alcohol in it to burn. So with the fragrance oil, it has a higher alcohol content, and that's how the people add it with their candle. But then with that as well, because the wax burns down to a body oil, I try to limit people how much fragrance oil you put because then it's gonna burn your skin. Whereas the
I'm laughing. That would be me.
so
I'm
everyone says, "Oh, it's not
not a
strong enough. I
subtle
want to add
person.
more."
Right. So you have to use a small amount of scent.
Yeah, but you still get the same kick. And in the class, I lay out. I have like over 75 different fragrances. I lay them all out, and you can mix any of the 75. You can mix three and create a whole new scent, and that's what you would make your candle with.
Incredible. I'm going to tell you something that I learned about scent, and you probably don't know this either, but when COVID hit, I was one of the first people to get COVID here in New York, and you couldn't even go anywhere. And I completely lost my smell and taste. It was awful. And I joined this therapy group, believe it or not, out of the UK. Remember, we couldn't go into doctors' offices. ENT people were like, well, gee, we don't know, I guess it'll come back eventually. I lost my smell and taste for 8 months. So 6 months in, I saw this research group on Facebook. I'm like, maybe this is hokey, maybe it isn't, but it connects to scent. And it was researchers out of the UK, and they took people that it looked like from our symptoms had the same issues with our smell and taste. So it was the same strain of COVID. So I was in a group with people from Tajikistan, from China. We were all over. It was so wild. And here's what the experiment was. We had to buy essential oils. That's why I asked you. I think rose was one of them. Lemongrass was one of them. There were two others that I've probably blocked because it was such a crazy time. But the fifth element in that was strong citrus taste. So mandarin oranges, tangerines,
lemons.
And I had to eat like five tangerines or mandarins at a sitting 3 times a day. And smell therapy was I had the bottles open, take a good whiff in, count to 10, and then let it go. And that was also 3 times a day. Do you know they turned everybody around? Our smell and taste completely came back. And there's not one ENT that I heard mention about this. I mean, you would have thought it was like they were looking at it like it was juju. And it absolutely worked. And that is what scent can do for people. It can cure you. And it did.
Holistic medicine is real medicine. So I'm glad that even though you weren't able to get helped by the ENT doctors, that you found that alternative and you got even better treatment.
I got even better treatment. I got a natural treatment. And also, if you're from Haiti and your mom grew up there, she knows what traditional doctors can do. And how they use it. And you're right, it's powerful medicine. It's as powerful, sometimes more powerful even than Western medicine.
I agree. It's just it isn't tested and they can't monopolize it. But even though I went to nursing school, I worked in health insurance, I do feel it's a big scam, like you go to the doctor to get just a checkup and they tell you all these other things. But like that aside, it's really your lifestyle. Your body is a vessel or it's a car. It's you own it and you have to control it, but you also have to nourish it and you have to feed it. And if you're not taking care of it or doing the right things, there's nothing a doctor could do but just give you medicine. So I again, I love that you did the holistic approach as opposed to going there, then it gets you on either an inhaler or you're taking steroids or type of holistic medicines.
Well, you know, because you're a nurse, that is exactly the treatment that they give everybody. And this year there was a new COVID that tested negative. So people were like, well, we're not sure what it is. It's some kind of virus. And this is me. God damn it, it's COVID. You know it's COVID. Why don't you just come out and say it? All right. Just call it for what it is. But I had a horrible cough. It went on for 3 weeks, and I go to the doctor. Of course, they tested me, RSV, everything else, and everything came up negative. But I was hacking horribly, and I had to get rid of it. So I have this stuff that I get. It's from China, and my daughter called it the placebo. It totally isn't. It's called Neoling. It is a Chinese herb. You can get it at Chinatown, or you can order it online. It's like $8 for a bottle. And I share this with you because it absolutely will get rid of respiratory things. Okay. Nice. It's an amazing thing. And what happened to me in January of this year, I was out of it. And I thought, okay, you know what? I'll try the medical way, right? The cough wasn't going away after 2 weeks. I'll go to the doctor. And it's exactly what you said. They give you the inhaler and the steroids and all of that, and you leave there and you're in the same spot that you were. I think I even got a Z-Pack. They throw this stuff at you, and it's not going to do anything.
Exactly. And now you're putting all these drugs into your body and system, and then it's who knows what type of adverse effects or things can happen. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot. Now, Kevin, do you believe that through a person creating their own candle, it can turn their mental health around if they're depressed, if they're anxiety ridden? What do you think the power of a candle is?
I think that's exactly the power of it. Just you creating this, and then it's everything that you would like. I put it, you pick your color, so you either can make it for yourself, or what I find that a lot of times, which is weird, or I won't say it's weird, maybe it's just human nature. The people who come who are either depressed, or we just talk and they're going through a divorce or a situation with jobs, they come and they would make a candle for someone else. And they're like, oh, my mom would like this, or my cousin would like this. And I'm just looking, thinking, you poor good soul, do it for you and be happy for you. But then I realized that's the joy for them. Right. In them being down, giving it to someone who was there for them or helped them through a rough time. And I find the beauty in that. So I feel like with a candle, you give someone light that gave you light.
Oh, I love that. Right. It's sharing the light. It's absolutely sharing the light with someone else. It's interesting because you do come from a culture that uses and understands candles. Our Western culture, you know, candles very often when I was growing up were like you found them in a head shop. They were, you know, something that like if you lit up that bong or rolled that joint, you know, you would like candles. And I never felt right. I never felt that they were being used, you know, properly for what they were for throughout history. And you probably know a lot about this. Candles are used in rituals.
Yes. And that's why chandlers used to be the person who creates candles. They used to be so important in like the early 1800s and probably 1900s because they were the source of light. Without a chandler making you a candle, how are you going to see at night when the sun's going? So like to share my chandler knowledge with everybody and kind of light them up in a way.
Well, you are lighting them up, and we are in dark times, right? We are in dark times now, and you can lighten these times by putting candles around yourself, putting scent around yourself. I wanted to jump back to the Father's Day thing, why I think this is important. A lot of people have lost their partner, and many people have lost their parents, you know, they're of a certain age. And these kind of holidays, Mother's Day is terrible for some people, a lot of people, and Father's Day is as well. And it's so commercial that, you know, you're reminded by the advertising and everything else, hey, I don't have a father, I don't have a mother. oh, my husband was the father and he's not there anymore. And by offering something like this, it's such a positive approach to a holiday that many people already, I know I've talked to people about, Father's Day. No, I'm not doing anything, my father's dead. Or it conjures up something bad for them. You're conjuring up something positive and good.
And that's what I want to be with someone. I wish someone was for me. So when you mentioned, not having moms, my mom died in 2019. So I started the company in 2020, just kind of using the skills that she gave me, and then was able to build it to this. So the Mother's Day class that I recently had, when we met, it was such a touching thing. And there was a woman that was there who just survived MS, and she was just saying, "Yo, thank you for doing this, because me and my daughter wanted to do something. I was in the hospital," and she was like emotional, and it made me emotional. And she said, I hope you spend the day with your mother, and it's good. And then when I said my mom died, I got choked up, and she gave me a hug, and it was just a whole thing. And then when we turned around, and the drag show started, and I was like, yes. So it was right.
It's all a beautiful thing. And I sensed, by the way, that your mother was not here. And I also sensed, and it's funny, the same thing happened in my afternoon show. This person is carrying forward the memory of someone that they love dearly. You are carrying forward the memory and the action and the warmth and the generosity of your own mother by what you're doing. And I believe, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It's out there all the time. She must be shining down on you and seeing you doing this, and she's so proud. I love what you're doing. Tell us, we're down to the wire here. I don't know how this happens. I love talking to you.
Likewise.
So tell everybody the time and the address for the workshops. It's this Saturday and Sunday, right?
Yes. Saturday, June 14th, and Sunday, June 15th. From 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. I'll be at Boxers, New York City at 37 West 20th Street.
I even have it memorized.
But yes, my tickets are on sale on Eventbrite, Fever, 3 Common, the Streets app, Class Bento, as well as Coupon.
Okay. Are people able to buy at the door if they want to?
They definitely are.
Okay, good. That's really important, because you get people that stroll in there that are going to want to do something.
Join the class. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now the workshop lasts what? 2 hours?
2 hours. So the first session's from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Then I do an hour intermission, reset, refill the oils, clean everything off, and then the last session is from 5 to 7 p.m.
Okay. I'm glad I asked. You're going to see me at one of those sessions, probably the second session, and I'm going to have to leave and not perform with the Imperial Court. Oh, I'm sad, because I have a friend that's in a show, and we all, we're all entertainers. We support each other. Kevin, you have been so terrific. I can't believe we're down to the wire here, and I want to definitely get a picture. And I just have to tell you a little crazy joke I was going to play on you. Sometimes I don't like lighting candles and going to sleep. So in my bedroom, I've really gotten into, this is so hokey, the fake LED candles that flicker.
That's a good one. And some of them even have a scent with them too. So
I have to get those, but I'm so embarrassed to tell you I've got plastic candles in the other room. All right.
No, my dad will love it. I told you he even hates matches. So you would be like, I like Wendy. She's smart. Candles are going to burn down the house.
There you go. There you go. Okay. Cheese. We'll take a couple. Thank you so much. I'm so excited for having your workshop. And, I love promoting people. So wherever you're doing a workshop, make sure you share it with me. I have a lot of followers on social media, and I definitely put it out there.
I appreciate you sharing your platform with me. You are doing amazing work, and God bless you. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And you know what? You're doing amazing work. God bless you too. Thank you, everybody. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.